Well, guys, I want to get started because we have 3 guests and we want to give you enough time to hear your stories and, tell the people about yourself and, why you're on the podcast. Does anyone really want to go first? I usually tell somebody, but I figured we'd open it up.
Shoot,
King, go ahead.
I'll go first.
Bass Daddy.
Oh,
Hit it, Dad.
I'm Richie, aka Bass Daddy. I've literally have not been DJing that long, maybe about 2.5, 3 years. I owe it to these 2 guys here hosting this. You guys helped me kind of get my first thing going. So, over at Dahlia. So that was totally unforeseen. I was just kind of like, let's just see what happens. And freaking Mike over here just, says, hey man, I got a spot for you. And James, I think it was you and Chris that time. You guys were doing house nights over there.
Yep.
Yeah. And,
you brought out 50 people.
Yeah,
dude, it was crazy.
I remember that.
And, I went up there. I had my own controller at that time too. So I was still just kind of figuring out how to use all that equipment. But anyway, yeah, man, I'll say something to my wife was, she's a recovering cancer patient. So I was literally practicing all my DJ sets in a hospital.
Oh, wow.
And it was great. And when you guys were inviting me to come out and play, I would be, literally just coming straight from the James Cancer and coming over and playing. It was quite a time. So, but anyway, thank you for the opportunity on that.
Of course, man.
What were you doing before that Dahlia party, man? Like, how did you get your start into it? Like, because I know you play piano, and I've heard you do a couple other things. So how did that side of music transition into DJing?
What is it? I will say back in college, man, I kind of did this for work, during the Mecca and Red Zone days. I don't know if you guys were even alive during those times, but
Red Zone.
Oh yeah.
I used to produce music way. Yeah. I used to produce music way back. The Galicchio and Corso would kind of let me come out and play my sets at their clubs. It was real cool of them to let me do that. And I would just play all original music. I'd play, I'd get invited to a bunch of local raves around town, Cleveland, sometimes out of state. The farthest I think I've gone was to Georgia, even up to up in Cleveland. Yeah.
Liquid.
I love how he's like, yeah, I've been doing this that long. I'm like, oh yeah, but in my first time when I was
But I have
DJing,
some history in the industry.
I was DJing everywhere.
A little bit. That's awesome, man.
Dude, you know what? I gotta say, man. When it comes to DJing, it's a completely different. It's a completely different organism. When I was producing music, I was playing music that I created, so people would have to adhere to the music I created. But
gotcha.
When you're DJing, right, you're kind of going off the vibe of the audience. So, which is again, it's a completely different type of art. But yeah, man, I'd be playing.
Sorry, keep going.
No, I was going to say, I think my last rave I ever did, it got raided by this huge SWAT team up in Cleveland. And I literally got all my equipment taken away. It was nuts, man. All my equipment just got taken away. And I had to go to the police station to get all my shit. I mean, it was boxes and boxes of keyboards, samplers. They took it all. And it was, I don't know if you guys remember Two Tiger Productions?
Mm-mm.
Victor. Oh, so this is way back, when they were doing, there was no digital age at all back then. It was all print flyers and shit. Everybody just passing flyers around and making posters. And, but he used to do some of the biggest raves in town, and his last one got raided, and it was over for him after that. He got he got like booted out of the country after
Dang.
that.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
Just for throwing parties.
Yeah, but
You
yeah,
guys play
seriously,
that?
like back then, man, it was a freaking jungle trying to do those kinds of things. And now today, it's just so welcomed.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about what? Huh?
I said,
Let's-
don't ever
Mike,
tell
let's,
me to have a story like that, bro. That's some crazy stuff.
What were you saying, James?
Or let's get the intros. Still keep going with the intros.
Yeah,
sure.
Stevie, do you wanna
We'll come back
who's
to
next?
jump in?
Yeah, well, so I'm Steven. My name is Steven Denisoff. I go by Stevie D. That's my stage name. DJ name. 26 years old. I'm from Akron, Canton area. 330 represent. I started like in 2012, my freshman year of college, and I was on the Trap team, and I just had a love for music. I used to listen to Cap Slap mixes all the time, so I know a lot of his sound kind of influences what I play as far as like mashups and edits. So he was banging back in the day. He's still good. He just does it's
That's
a
awesome.
little different sound, but so following my freshman year, I was asked to be a part of this team called DC Sound Productions, where it's essentially like a talent management agency where they would give us like we were on NS7 twos, the new marks, or no, it was NS7 ones actually, and so they would place us in different bars and stuff. I got a residency in Canton at a club called The Pub. It's called M Bar now, but it's like the closest, like the biggest club in Canton, which I mean, we still go there when I'm home and stuff. It's a good time. Yeah, it was a good time. DC Sound Productions gave me a great opportunity. I did that for the following summer, and I just kind of started doing frat parties and just big parties. I always liked hanging out with my friends, and it's like whenever you're stuck up there in the frat parties, it's like you don't have the opportunity to enjoy the party itself. And so as I got through college, I kind of stopped DJing a little bit, but I would come and do like the special events and stuff. And then I wrote some stuff down so I didn't forget. Then when I graduated in 2017, I moved to Baltimore, which I didn't know anyone. I moved by myself, and it was a life-changing experience. I grew a lot from that in itself. And at my gym, it was like a social gym. They had like pool parties, they had a bar at the pool, all this stuff. And at one of the pool parties, I reached out, or I talked to one of the DJs, and I just became really good friends with him. James was actually Andrew Lux on our last stream last weekend. So he brought me into another like management group called R Entertainment. And Ralph, the head of that, kind of just also brought me in and gave me the opportunity. I did a little tryout, and after that, I pretty much worked my way up and got a residency at a place called Stalking Horse. It's really cool. It's more of a college-y club, I would say. It's like a bar on the bottom, club up top. I gained a lot of experience just like reading a crowd, I would say. Because prior to that, with DC Sound Productions, I would play like at the Pub, which was a club, but I also would play grad parties, and I would play. I played J.C. Penney's one time for like a Father's Day sale or something like that. So
Yep.
I was really versed with what I would play, and I would DJ every weekend with one of my best friends, MCAT, who also, while I was in Baltimore, introduced me to Ableton and production. And we still work on music all the time. We just released a single together called Together. Pretty cool. Check it out. And from there, I moved to Columbus in 2018. I really just put my head down and worked my way through Ableton, working on mashups, edits, and stuff, because 6 months later, I moved to Wisconsin while still having a place in Columbus, all for work. I have a day job, and so I'm always trying to find a good balance in between the two. But once I got back from my 6 months of training for my job, I wanted to dive into live DJing again. And that's where I met Nick Reed. Shout out to him and Spencer for the opportunities at Thump. And one thing led to another, and I got on my first Dolly show, which was freaking awesome. And I fell in love with like true club music, house music, and like every place I've DJed, you kind of have to adapt to the city and the environment. And I mean, Baltimore was a lot more trappy. Akron Canton was a lot more hip hop, R&B. And when I came to Columbus, I kind of just fell into the house scene, and I really, really enjoyed just meeting everyone, and everyone kind of took me in, and been getting some great opportunities. I played over 20 shows last year at Dahlia, and I have James to thank as well for always helping me, because I mean, I've played on everything from that Newmark to Tractor to Virtual DJ. I actually brought a prop on here. This is the first guy I started on.
Oh, man, look at that thing.
I don't even know what it's called. Ion Discover DJ. Dude, I was using this on Mac has a software. I forget. I don't even. It was called like iDJ or something, something like that. So just yeah. So I was hopping around different softwares, different controllers, and yeah. So I would say the past year I've really dove into production too, and a lot of that is just due to the pure talent in Columbus. And it's like all these house DJs are freaking awesome production producers, and so I was like, you know what, I know enough in Ableton that I have my feet wet, so why don't we actually get down to the technical part of it? And I released my first single last year, and yeah, I've been devoting time to producing and learning that craft, so that's been fun.
It's been awesome to see your sets at Dahlia, and you kind of adapt, like you said, to the city and the crowd in front of you. I feel like, you know, as your shows went on, you really aced it and you figured it out.
Thank you.
You know, obviously you had a lot of your friends show up for your shows, but I feel like you were able to play the entire room pretty well as well. So it's been awesome to watch you, man. Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate the help too. Like, from moving from all those controllers and software, I would say the hardest jump was to CDJs, and I don't know why, but it's just like it's a different animal, and I'm still learning. I don't own any, so it's like I haven't touched them in two months, you know. But I've played 30 shows, including Thump on that, so Thump really helped me get used to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was going to say that Nick Reed always gets brought up, and he was in the chat earlier. So shout out to him if he's still here.
Yeah.
But yeah, James, do you have any more follow-up questions for Stevie D, or want to hear from?
No, but I was going to comment about, you know, he was talking about how he's not able to play on CDJs at the moment. It's funny because, you know, I had a pretty full-time schedule DJing at Dahlia or wherever. And I was always on CDJs, and now I'm using this controller that I bought from you, Mike, for these live streams, and it's like ancient. It's like so hard to use. Like, I know it's the same thing, but it's also not the same thing. I don't know.
I mean, that's the difference of what, $3,000, probably more than that, 4,000.
So, King, introduce yourself, my man.
So, my name is TJ. I go by King. I am the freshman in the group, sure. I actually started in January, believe it or not. It was my 30th birthday, December 5th.
Oh, we're getting the story. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a warm day. No. Keep going.
I was like, shit, I'm turning 30. Like, I want a banger. I want to do something fun. Like, I've always just been super into music, like growing up and whatnot. So Richie, BASSDADDY over there, he was a resident DJ with my buddy Ted Keys over at Dushinto.
Shout
And
out Ted Keys.
Yep.
so yeah. He's playing Home Alone Fest 2 for anybody listening. So check that out tomorrow. Most of us are. Anyway, so he helped me like get a bunch of friends. My buddy Diego, he goes by DeRoya. He's a producer and DJ here too. He came out and we had a bunch of friends just DJ for it. And afterwards, I was in the process of starting this thing called Crates, and that took a lot of different shapes and forms. It was supposed to be like kind of a meetup thing for like artists at first, and then it was me, Richie, BASSDADDY, DeRoya, and West DJ. We got together. We actually went back to Dushinto and pitched them on starting a hip hop and house night. I had every intent to start DJing a little bit later, but I just wanted to see my friends like go out there and just have fun and get booked. So that's kind of what I wanted initially. And BASSDADDY wasn't having it. He was like, "You're opening the first one, man." I was like, "Bro, we got like 3 weeks." So I locked myself in my room. I was over at Wes's place too, probably that entire time, to be honest. And all 3 of those guys just made me work for it. And so my first show was what was it? February 6th or 7th or something. Do you remember when it was?
Yeah, it was around that time. Yeah.
Yeah. We do it
just before all this shit happened.
Yeah, before like everything. So we were like fresh into it. But yeah, just busted my ass. Found some DJ courses online and just ran through that. I think I was working on, what does he have? MK2s? Is that right, Wes?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. MK2s.
Yeah.
He's got a 750, I think, D750.
Yeah. So I was like, it was nice because I got to learn on those. So from like the jump, and I just kept practicing and we did crates, and then afterwards, like that was a good turnout, and Richie was doing his night driver sessions over there. So we just kept like pulling people in, and they were pulling me in to do Shinto, as far as like getting sets, opening for people and different things. So I think that whole month of February was literally my first show, and then played every single weekend afterwards, I think, something like that. So
just catching steam.
What's up?
Just catching steam before all this got shut down, man.
It was starting to get crazy. We had some more plans to do a couple different events. Crates, when we booked it initially, we pitched to do it for a Saturday of every month. So it was like a scheduled thing. And what we got through 2 shows, 2, 3, something like that. And then this happened. And we're like, oh shit.
Well, so, I'm glad you brought up Home Alone, TJ, because I wanted you to talk about that, because you're one of, I think you know, we're all in the group text or whatever, but I think that was your kind of brainchild to do some kind of stream for charity. So talk to us about like the organization and the idea behind it, and then we'll go over to Richie or BASSDADDY to talk about coming up with like the concept and design.
Sure. Yeah, I think it may have been. I want to say it. I think Nikki said something like, I think we had one night, like right after quarantine started, we're all in like a big Plur lockdown group or whatever. And I want to say it could have, I could be wrong on this. I think it was Nikki who said like, oh, like I want to see you guys DJ, because we DJ'd that night and we are trying to DJ like this, talking over like 15 different people.
Yeah, it was one of those house party
like
things.
everybody, yeah, and everybody's just lit and nobody could hear anything, and it was just wild. But I think by the end of it, like everybody just kind of had like little short mini sets. And I want to say she said something like we should do a different time, so that we can do it like you guys have a separate time, and then maybe we could do this like a little bit later. But we decided, I don't know when it came up, but we were talking and it was like, yo, screw it. Let's just invite all of our friends. Nobody's working right now. We're all hungry for it. Like, we were just starting up the crates thing. We had some other things in the work. Night driver sessions was going strong. We were working in with Chris Carlin. Shout out him. I think he's watching. And so it was like all of us just kind of talking through this chat, like, yo, let's get something together. Let's figure out this stream shit. BASSDADDY found out about OBS initially. And we said, screw it. Let's make this like an official thing. Like, let's do the Instagram for it. Like, let's do promo. Let's do 2 weeks time for that. Give people enough time to like really get invested, because everybody's streaming right now, which I get. For like casual viewers, you know, you need a little bit more interaction, a little bit more hype to get them going. So like it's been spitballing for what, maybe a month now, something like that. And then afterwards it was like, all right, well, you know, we got this going strong. Let's just hit up the homies. Use everything we've learned in the past however long it was, since January when we started crates and everything else going on. And started doing all of our shows at Dushinto. It was like, let's use all that knowledge, figure out this stream shit, use all our connections, bring in the homies, and let's just throw a fucking banger. So that's where we're at.
Cause.
It's pretty impressive that you started in January learning, and now you're, coordinating this live stream. You're doing what you have to do. Being a brand new DJ, I know you're really excited to get back at it, I'm sure. So that's really cool that you're, after it quick. Sounds like you have a good support group around you too. So I think it'll work out great.
I started out like BASSDADDY. I can't remember when we met. This was like years ago through my cousin. Yeah. We literally have videos that Clavel was posting the other day when right before I met you, Mike, for EDC, where we were making like candy in your living room or something like that.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's like, it's cool because I'm not from here. I'm from Indy, and moved around a little bit. And then when I got here, I just met all these super cool people in music, and I've always been interested. So I taught myself a little bit of production. I'm not really great, still working on it, but yeah, that's kind of how I got started. And so it's like the concepts, the drives, all that stuff is like, it's been simmering for like years. And I feel like this year was the starting point. So now it's easier, like, and I'm sure you guys know, once you have one show, you learn shit. So then you go on to the next one, you make that cool. And then you go on to the next thing, and you make that cool. You just keep going with it. So you just feed off that energy. And that's kind of how we're where we're at, you know?
Absolutely.
Chris Carolyn said, I remember the day we made you full send it to EDC with us. Did you full send it to EDC?
That was a real
That's funny.
fun night. And yep. Yeah, I think we were at my place, and I had just met all the guys. And I think I was just hammered. I was living with my cousin at the time, which they're all friends with, Shannon, who just got married to Shawan.
Yep.
So
Shout out
congrats
Shannon
on that.
Shawan.
And I think we were all like having Thanksgiving or something. I can't remember. We were all just messed up. And they're like, "You want to go to EDC?" And I was like, "I don't even know what this is." Like, yo, it's so cool. Showed me some pictures. And I think I just bought the right there.
That's good.
So
That's the best way to do it, man. Just adventure time.
And then, so you guys can hear it like started out like Home Alone starts out of this group chat, charity event, live stream, DJs, starting to get organized. And then so I'm thinking like, okay, this is cool. So I'm excited to be a part of this. Lineup's great, this and that. And then all of a sudden, Richie BASSDADDY drops the flyer and like all the graphics coming out for the stream and the PNG transparency things for your OBS. So like the stream looks dope and all these graphics. And I'm like, this looks incredible. Like
Sweet.
What do you do? How do you do that?
I agree.
It looks amazing.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you.
That's
sick.
By day, I'm a designer. It's just kind of a second nature. And the moment, TJ and Nikki, our friend Nikki, they brought up this thing to do this. I was like, oh man, this is great. Like, what a time to do it. And this is a perfect time to just go all out on something like this, man. We're all just sitting at home. There's all these people, they're risking their lives right now to keep us all safe, and we got, let's do something too, right? So so I was like, man, I'm gonna try and make this thing look as professional and make it look as nice as possible. So like right off the bat, man, I was just so inspired, and literally like I stayed up all night and just started designing all kinds of things to make this look cool. Yeah, I mean, I've been in the business of social media and web design, digital flyers, all that kind of stuff. So this stuff just came second nature, man. And I got all kinds of templates and everything all set up already for me. Just slap on imagery.
Wow.
All I needed were your ugly asses, pictures, and place in there. That was it.
You look good though. You look good.
Nice. That's good, man. You got those tools for sure.
Yeah, I love doing it, man.
So maybe I'll ask you guys this: BASSDADDY and King, and then we'll go back to STEVIE D. Like, I don't want you guys to give away too many secrets, but like, what kind of things can people expect? Because I know I've been watching the group chat or whatever. You guys are talking about some crazy stuff that you're doing with like the graphics and the green screens and backgrounds. So just tell us like why should people watch this? Why is this better than just your average stream? We'll start with Rich and then we'll go to TJ.
I think first off, I mean the lineup. I mean everyone on this lineup is super talented. We a lot of us are well known. For as far as locally in town, maybe even beyond, and that's definitely a huge part of it, and because of that, because we've got this awesome lineup, man, let's make this shit look real nice, and with all the cool technology and like things like OBS, man, obviously Facebook, but right now Facebook Live is just giving us all kinds of problems. Instagram, all this, incredible tech. It's allowing us to do, it's giving us that flexibility to do all this fun stuff. I mean, we can do green screens, we can do all kinds of crazy stuff. You can mess with, PNGs, graphics to place on top of, your live streams, and I think, when we first started this, you guys are all in that group chat. I was like, you guys go crazy on this stuff. Have fun with it, man. You know, like freaking, you know, I mean, it could be the most simplest thing you can do. That could be to make your virtual stage look good. You know, maybe just flip it upside down so everybody looks at you upside down. You know, like, you know, just fucking have fun with it, man. You know, you know, you look at the threshold of this. You know, people are probably going to watch it for maybe about 5 minutes, and they might get off. You know, and they'll maybe come back on. But like, you know, it's not always. It's a very small percentage of people that are just watching it straight through, right? They might just have it in the background. So it's kind of your chance to go nuts. You might as well go crazy. You really don't have anything to lose. You know, your music. You know, our music's going to sound great. Go ahead and take advantage of making your virtual stage. Have fun with it. Like I said, turn your screen upside down. Shit. Turn it sideways.
Now I'm going to be in your chat
know,
like,
whatever.
hey man, where's the upside down video? You were talking about it on the podcast. Where's it at? TJ, what's one thing you're doing
I love
to
how
enhance
the
your
lineup.
stream? Nope. Did we lose? Are we looking some lag?
James, you want to go? I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I was just saying that I love the lineup is diverse. The lineup is great, like Govind just said, because the lineup's fire, and that it's for a good cause. I think, you know, the community in the city is already great, and this is going to show people even more so that, you know, we're coming together, we're getting through this together, and I think the support on it's fantastic. So I was just kind of agreeing with everything BASSDADDY just said, because I think it's important that we all come together right now, and being for a charity thing too is just awesome to me. I think that was like something that really stood out to me that I enjoy.
TJ, what's one
Amen.
thing that you're doing to make your stream pop tomorrow? Because I know you were doing a couple things.
Yeah, I've been working on visuals. I just got in the green screen, and bro, I think I spent like 3 days just getting all kinds of stuff ready to go. I come from a diverse background. I also play diverse music. You know, I do hip hop, Afrobeat, dancehall, grime, UK grime. Like that's in my sets too. And so I put like a little message in there you guys will see tomorrow. I think is pretty relevant. I like to create visual aspects, and also kind of challenge the viewer a little bit, even if it's just something quick. So I've been working on some visuals, and it's pretty dope. I'm really excited. It's been hard not talking about it.
Mm-hmm. That's why I got you on here,
anybody
man,
yet.
I know you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, so tune in tomorrow. You'll see. It's pretty dope. I'm really pumped for this. I'm really excited for the lineup. When we made this, especially with this group having a lot of friends and family in like healthcare, and all of us are pretty ride or die for this city. You know what I mean? Like, we get shit about Columbus, and I think that that's kind of what helps us stand out too with what we're trying to do right now. Even down to the donations, we're just like, you know, it may be a little inconvenient for some people. We'll drop a link in the stream and stuff, but like, we would rather you just donate straight to the organization. It doesn't need to go through any more hands or anybody else. If you can, donate to them, even if that means not watching. I know it's kind of counterpoint to what we'd probably want to say, but that's what we give a shit about. We care about our city. So,
100%.
James, you had a question for STEVIE D, right?
So I have a question for
Amen.
STEVIE D. Yeah, because you know, just Stevie, you've been DJing for a while, but I've only seen you DJ for a certain amount of time. Having you at Dahlia has been a great experience. But I want to know, now that you're starting to produce and you've got some good shows under your belt, who is somebody that you would want to open for if I was to bring to Dahlia, and who would you want to collab with down the road?
Hit me with a hard one. Dang. Who would I like to collab with? So, I mean, the past year or so, I've really, like I said, embraced house music. Love bass house. I like underground tech a lot, and future house, like Don Diablo style and whatnot. But I think someone that kind of just like pulls that all together and the sound that I'm really looking for is Sid. And I mean, I would love to collab with him because he's like future housey sometimes, and then he does get pretty techy at times too. He always puts out a new sound that's different, and he's very versatile in what he does. So, and that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Trying to find my sound between tech and future and bass house. You know, it's hard. That's why I'm struggling. Like, I know I've told you I'm trying to find good sound. Like last song I released with my buddy MCAT, that was very EDX, like chill house.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the sound that I'm looking to produce. It just happened, you know. I'm just trying to find the right path to get where I want to go, I guess.
Dude, Sid's awesome. I mean, he played the last show he played at Dahlia was pretty techy, like you said. So he definitely, his production's pretty versatile. I mean, you could do all those things. You could play all those genres. You know what I mean? You don't have to stick to one.
Yeah. I'm so green
and then,
still, you know, so it's hard to switch it up consistently.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you when you play your mashup sets, it seems like it's all there. Like your energy, your transitions, your story is so good.
Here's what I want to hear. So, Stevie, I've never heard you
Appreciate
spin.
that.
I want you describe a Stevie D set to me. What are you? I mean, it could be different. You could say like for different places, whether it's a frat party, Dahlia, like other things, you know, opening for Diplo. But like, what's like this consistent thing throughout when I go to see Stevie D?
Well, I mean, I like to have a good time. I like to party, you know. So I would say, I like James had talked about Corrupt. I do bring a lot of my friends, and I mean, I'll have anywhere from 30 to 100 of my friends come a show, and it's like a lot of my friends like to have a good time too, and I mean, they're not always into all the underground tech house stuff. So I really like to read the crowd and be relatable. So that's kind of where my edits and mashups come into play, because everyone loves house music. That's a fact. You know, even my new puppy, she's 5 weeks old. She likes house music. So you just have to show people what house is. And I would say the way I do that is with these mashup and edits, you know, like sing-alongs, stuff people know, and then come into a hot drop that people don't know or do know if they listen to house music, and everyone wins. So that's kind of like how I like to tell my story, and how I like to play my sets, you know.
Nice, man. I like that. That's cool. I'm patting myself on the back for that question. Let's see what else I can say.
Thanks.
We're gonna do, I think, our first crazy question. It's not too crazy this week. You guys are all, and Corrupt, you're on this too. You guys are all on a deserted island. You can only bring 3 albums with you. What are you bringing? And actually, I'm going to start with you, James.
Like albums, like
Albums.
Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the what is that old Dead Mouse, the original Mousetrap, just because when I came up into electronic music, he was actually still nice to people. And then I'll go with. I'll switch it up with maybe like a Rufus Du Sol EP or something, and then I'll go with let's see. Trying to think of some bass house that I would like to hear. I'm a big Sid fan as well, or Dr. Fresh. Some of his tunes. Because then I have variety, and I can just switch it up each day. Get some techno, some house, and some chill. Whatever my vibe is for the day while I'm building a boat or a raft or whatever I got to do to get off that.
So just to be clear, 2 out of the 3 albums that you would bring to a deserted island, you do not know the name of.
Oh, yeah, just to be clear.
Let's see. Richie, you go. 3 albums you're bringing to you with bringing with you on the deserted island.
Oh man, dude, you know what? Anything by Robotaki, man. I'm a huge fan of Robotaki.
Who's that?
You see, Robotaki. He does a lot of down tempo, some chink DJ dude.
Okay. Can we say
but he does a little bit of some house music. But yeah, hockey. You guys know Moby, of course. You know that he went into sleep music.
Sleep music, like ambient.
Yeah, Moby does sleep music. Yeah,
that actually doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, real nice. Peaceful. I'm talking like he made a 12-hour album, and it is some of the most beautiful sleep music you have ever heard in your life. I mean, it is just so beautiful. Ever since my son was born, I've discovered it, and we play it almost every single night. I mean, I can't remember really more than 2 or 3 days without it, but we play it every single night, just keep it on. And, my son's just so used to hearing it. He's out like a light once I put it on. And then my third album. Oh man, that's so hard. You know what? I got to say, I'm a huge score. Also, I like score music, like Hans Zimmer. You guys like Hans Zimmer?
I do like Hans Zimmer.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my gaming channels when I'm gaming.
Oh man, Hans Zimmer. Oh gosh, Hans Zimmer. I will listen to him all day. Just real dramatic, spooky. Just he'll have some of those real vigilant type tracks like that he played, like that he does the Call of Duty stuff, right?
I actually did not know that.
I did not know that.
The composer for all that music.
That doesn't surprise me though.
So yeah, those are my 3.
Cool. Stevie.
That is cool.
Yeah, I'm similar to James, where it's like I feel like a lot of my favorite songs haven't come out in albums as of the past couple years with electronic music producers. But some of my favorite albums, I would say "True" from Avicii, R.I.P. is. I mean, those are all bangers. That I think that came out like 2012 or something. But "Tell Me About" song on that album. I really like 2014 Forest Hill Drives, J. Cole. That's a vibe. Kid Named Cudi
Fire.
was his mixtape. I think that was when I was in high school. Dude, those are all great songs. Those are all. I really like ASAP Ferg too. Cozy Tapes Volume 1 was sick too. So.
TJ, what you got for us?
I would go Isaiah Rashad, Sylvia demo for sure. It's probably my number one. Party Next Door, self-titled album. And
I just got hip. I just started playing those guys out. I don't know if it's him or they or whatever, but they are quite good.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, he's dope as shit. He is part of the reason actually Drake sounds the way he does.
Didn't know that.
To be honest, because he's on OVO. Yeah, so he helped kind of develop a lot of that. But yeah, so I would go with those two, and then probably, honestly, just because of the shit that I was going through at the time when this dropped, probably Bryson Tiller's Trap Soul album, to be honest.
Love that one.
I was going through like just a weird, messed up time. And yeah, that honestly changed the sound of like rap and R&B at the time when it came out. So yeah, those are my three for sure.
Nice. And I suppose I will share mine. I
What about
gotta
you?
go. Gotta go Big Willie Style by Will Smith as number one. The other two aren't even close. But that album front to back has a theme. Like all the little skits are incredible. Like had hits on hits on hits. And how can you not like Will Smith? College Dropout is probably another one. I just hate that it's Kanye. I wish it was like College Dropout by Drake. But it is. That album is so good. And then what else? And then I had Average White Band, the self-titled album. That was just like a song that was always playing. Anytime my dad and I were driving to like basketball games or whatever, like that was what was playing in the car in early morning. So I'd like, it's super, super funky. We've seen them live 3 times. So that's just, you know, I can always put on song. I just throw on the album, and no matter what I'm doing, it fits. If I want to dance, I can dance a little bit. If I want to chill, I can chill. It's a solid, funky album if you guys like that. Cool. James, do you want to do our second crazy question? I don't know if we have time for it, but I kind of wanted to do it a little bit.
Hold on, I don't have the document right in front of me. What is it?
You know what? We'll go straight to yours. We'll go straight to show and tell. So, what'd you guys bring for show and tell?
Oh yeah, so each of you guys got a non-DJ related item to share with us. Let's see it. Who wants to go first?
All right. Yeah, right here.
My favorite part of the
You
podcast.
love this, man. You love this. What is this?
It is.
We can't.
I am a Uber nerd. Hold up. It's the D&D Dungeons and Dragons player handbook.
Oh man, D&D is not even nerdy
I have
anymore.
a D&D group. it's like mainstream now that Stranger Things. I feel like that picked it up in popularity, to be honest.
Big time.
Now like a ton of people are
Love
playing it.
Stranger Things. Dude, that's hilarious because I didn't know what Dungeons and Dragons was until the show.
It's fantasy football for nerds.
I didn't either. I mean, like I had heard of it. It is. That is the best way to describe it. Yes. Yeah, I play it like every other week. I love it. I don't give a shit. It's like my dirty little secret.
There you
go. I love the idea and concept. It's something that I love, but the time commitment. There needs to be D&D light, short stories, and then I could probably get into that because like you can go on for what, like years. Like can't stories go on for like ever? Am I crazy?
Yeah, we're in the middle of a campaign. My buddy is he's just like kind of making it up as he goes.
Dungeon Master.
So I think we played a little over a year now or something like that.
See, James, you thought I was lying.
So shout out Gucci.
Same story for that long?
Yeah, same campaign. Because like you can extend them. It's
yeah,
like
he just keeps making shit up.
But yeah, I love it. I love it in theory, but I don't practice.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, Richie, what you got? Show and tell.
All right, show and tell. I can't per se, bring it to you, but I just a picture of it. This baby right here, man.
Can I see it?
My piano.
Okay.
Fucking see that thing?
Tell us about
it. My piano, man. It is one of my pride and joys. I love playing the piano, you guys. I love it. It turns me on, man, when I play that thing. I volunteer over at the James too. I know I'm bringing that up again, but I volunteered at the James before all this stuff was going on. I played piano on the cancer patient floors. So they'd set up a piano on all the floors for me, and I'd just go play piano on there for them. I wish I could bring this baby there with me, but this thing weighs a ton. So when I'll come home, I'll live stream myself just playing on sometimes. And, I've been teaching my son how to play on there. I'll just go on and just start playing shit. So it's a great outlet, man.
Nice, man.
I'm jealous. I wish I knew how to play.
I dabble, but I'm terrible. Is that everyone? That was it.
Yeah.
No, Stevie.
Kim,
you got
what
Stevie.
you got?
Yeah.
Or no, he already went.
Did he? Steve, what'd you show us?
Stevie, I'm sorry. Yeah, about you, bud.
I will. No, you're good. I showed my controller, but I'll brag about my new daughter. She's super cute.
Oh, all right.
Get this in here. Yeah, I just got her last week. She's super cute. She's a Cavachon.
What's her name?
She's super ornery. Her name's Stella. So she's pretty
awesome.
cute. She's not here right now.
Nice.
She's at my girlfriend's
And she
house,
likes.
So yeah.
Does she like Lifetime movies?
She's cute and likes house music.
What's that?
I've been looking for.
No one's getting that joke. Just let it go. Never mind.
She loves house
Ignore me.
music.
I did. I let it
go. Next, this is so we just did James' favorite section. My favorite section is what is one tip to DJing or business that you guys could share with our listeners, and some that they haven't heard before. Ooh, let's start with Stevie this time.
Dang it. My biggest thing is just be adaptable, know where your weaknesses are, I guess, and thrive on your strengths. whether that is marketing, social media presence, technical skills on the CDJs or controller, whatever you're using. Just really put time into whatever you're lacking, because I've noticed the more time you put into that, not flaw, but I guess you would call it a weakness, the more you grow. So, yeah.
I don't know if I want to let that one slide. Focus on your weakness. Like, what would you do to find out your weakness? Like, how did you find out what your weakness was, and then how did you go about developing it?
All right, good follow up. I would say, I mean, my biggest weakness right now would probably be my technical skills on the CDJs, and the way I've overcome that, or have tried so far, is just, I mean, I can play my SX2 all day. I can't, maybe not blindfolded, but I know, like, if something happens within a split second, I can adjust really quickly. And I just don't have as much experience on like CDJs. So what I've done, I've played Thump, you know. I mean, Thump is a great outlet, great opportunity, great thing that Nick does for the community. And I mean, that really got me comfortable on that. And now that I'm feeling more comfortable, I want to, and I want to work on marketing better, I guess, and my social media presence as a producer DJ. So that's my next step, I would say.
So your tip would be as comfortable as possible with either, you know, the industry standard or the gear that you're.
Is that in?
Right? Hello?
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. Yeah, sorry, I think I'm getting a little.
You caught me off guard with that question, so I didn't know how to answer it.
Yeah, man,
I want to see more DJ pictures of you on your Instagram.
Yeah, I'll echo that, because I went, because I said I hadn't. But,
in general, I need to post more.
Yeah, because I went to research a little bit, do a little homework.
I know you've had some good crowds.
Yeah, one spot. Let's see. Oh yeah, tips from TJ.
Yeah.
What's your
So
tip?
I did see that. I did see your. Oh, sorry.
My bad.
It's lagging.
Yeah, it's lagging real bad. Sorry. TJ, still with us?
Yeah.
What's your one tip or secret to DJing or business?
I would. I've actually got two. They go hand in hand. Something, sorry. There's something Wes and Richie had taught me initially when I was like starting out that like really kind of stuck with me. Richie said the first part, just fucking do it. Like take every chance you get, just fucking do it. Doesn't matter. And then I think Wes had kind of rounded it out, because he told me afterwards, as I was like practicing and stuff initially, and he was like, look, you're going to fuck up. Everybody fucks up. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long you play. You're going to fuck up. Just recover. And that's really it. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't work, don't just fucking stop. No matter what you're doing, don't just fucking stop. Just figure it out. Keep going. Be all right.
I like that.
Yeah, don't be afraid to mess up.
Resilient.
That too. That's good.
I think it was A-Track or maybe Craze who said, if you're not messing up, then you're not doing anything difficult, right? One of those two.
Yeah, failing. Yeah.
Amen. Right on.
And then Richie, what's your
tip? How about
you,
Richie?
I want to piggyback a little bit off what Stevie was saying. You know, kind of, learning the equipment, being flexible with, whatever equipment, you come by. I mean, you're going to be dealing with, controllers or equipment that you've never worked on. You're going to even be playing on equipment that's broken, and you just got to try and figure it out and be flexible and just kind of, learn to deal with it, because, that's, like everything else, it's going to happen. You're going to run into it. But the other thing I wanted to mention too is, the community we have here in Columbus, man, it's great. Like, the electronic dance scene is awesome here. Like, again, I'll riff off again, like with Nick and his team, with my best friend's party. I mean, what they're doing is awesome. Again, shout out to him. I mean, he gave me so, all these opportunities to play at Thump as well. And, I can't thank him enough for that as well. But I think, when you're around that community, when you're around, all these other talents, all these other DJs, I think it is so important to keep a humbleness. Everyone, there's a lot of talent out there. Everyone's talented in their own way. And I think it's just so important that you stay humble in this community. There's a lot of people still learning. There's a lot of people that have been in a long time, but you want to stay open enough. You want to stay friendly enough that you keep inviting these people into this world. And, thanks TJ for calling out, but I mean, it's like, you're right. You just gotta fucking do it, man. If it's something you want to do, if it's DJing you want to do, if you want to play more shows, you want to write more stuff, like, do it, but keep that humbleness, keep grounded. I mean, I think that's gonna go a long way. The longer you're in it.
I would echo that and say being humble, is easier too when you have the right support around you, the right criticism coming, and the right, ears on your music and your sets. We talked about this a little bit last episode. If you have a corner and they're all telling you killed it all the time, then you're not going to get better, because chances are that you probably did okay, but they're not going to, like, a real friend that wants to see you succeed is going to tell you what you did wrong or little areas that you could have been better.
Absolutely. Amen.
I want to go back to Stevie D real quick. You mentioned that one of your weaknesses was marketing. And I mean, when I was talking to James, he said that was one of your strong suits. And James, I think you even had a question about like how he gets people to his shows, right?
Yeah, I just want to know how he goes about it, because I know that he's new to the social media thing, but you have other outlets to get your friends to come out, right?
Right. Yeah. I guess I misspoke. I meant more like social media presence. Like, I've been definitely working as far as like Twitch. I did what are those things, like the Linktree thing. I am definitely adapting as far as social media presence. That's more or less what I was saying. But as far as marketing, I have a Stevie D group chat with like over 100 people of my friends that just want to have a good time, and that's always my go-to. And then a lot of my fraternity buddies, and just a lot of networking has really what helped me. But I haven't posted generally any shows on my Instagram other than my story. So I feel like I just have to just work on posting more. Even my like non-DJ life, I probably post like once every 6 months. So got to work on that.
I actually have a question for you.
So what I think you're doing right,
my bad. Go ahead, James.
Go ahead, Mike. It's lagging a little bit.
Yeah,
no, it's lagging.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say that. Of course, I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. Go, James.
Well, no, you said you have a group of 100 people. You know, I think a lot of people are trying to make their own groups and stuff. But I think what you do is you keep a good personal touch to it. You keep in touch with everyone individually. You know, I feel like, you know, you can make a big group with a lot of people, but if you're only posting flyers, for example, or, you know, you're only hitting your wall with like generic content, it's not going to be as effective. So I feel like your friends feel connected to your journey of DJing, and I think that that's something that we could all, you know, take advice from moving forward. You want people to genuinely support you, and you genuinely want them to feel that you appreciate them coming out to your shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And that definitely does have some, that has some thought to it as to why I don't post like, the only time I post is on my stories is because, I mean, I don't even know how many Instagram followers I have, but like, let's say I have 1,300 followers. I would say probably over 50% don't live in Ohio. So they're not going to come. So why, I don't know, you know, that you have to, I don't want to annoy people, but I also want to promote and be effective, you know?
We could have a whole episode on that.
I like it.
The question I had was, do you find that text messages? Do you find that like a text message is more effective than, you know, I'm just listing all of the options: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MailChimp. Do you find that's like the only guaranteed way for people to see your messaging?
I kind of like what James said. I feel like it's more personal when you're email or when you're texting individual people that you know are going to come to the shows, that want to support you, that live local. I know a lot of my friends live in Cleveland and Cincinnati too, and if I'm playing a big show, they'll make the 2-hour drive. So I guess it all depends on the audience you want to reach. If you're doing MailChimp and you have a new release or a new mix or something you're trying to promote, I feel like that's a great tool, great resource. But if you're trying to get someone to a local show when it just depends, you know. If it's a big show, people will come. If it's just a small show, people probably won't come. So it's more or less spam, I guess. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, is it cool if I say something? I'll speak
always,
to it.
Always, Richie.
You know, Stevie, you know, whatever you're doing now, it's obviously working for you, right? I mean, you're getting followers. You're starting to get some sort of, you know, motivation or some sort of leeway of getting your name out there, getting known. So something's working for you. It is working for you. But when it comes to, if you want to increase your marketing, or if you want to do your Facebooks, your Instagrams, you know, you gotta take it in the stride that you can handle, right? Because when you start to do it, you know, you will experience a significant jump in your activity, you know, and how you're going to maintain it. So right now, you know, whatever you're doing, that's what you can maintain now. But once you start doing that, you know, things will start to pour in, you know, and that will start to gain. You'll start to gain a little bit more. Some more activity in your social space. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That's a good point. That's true. Yeah, I like that.
Also, Stevie, sometimes just I feel you. Sometimes it's like the last thing I want to do. I want to engage with fans. I want to do that stuff. Sometimes it's kind of hard, especially if you're fatigued. You've been talking to other people. You've been DJing all day. You've been doing all kinds of other stuff. You know what I mean? So like, I feel that sometimes what I'll just do, honestly, is I'll create like some good content, and then I'll just promote the hell out of it. Like, I'll promote it through Insta or Facebook, and I let that just take care of it. That way it still hits my intended audiences, and it still gets people to like come. And then from there, then I can follow up when I see like people commenting or whatever. I can just go ahead and follow up on that instead of trying to, you know, post every hour of every day. It's exhausting. I mean, they have, you know what I mean? Like people get paid to do that for bigger artists and stuff. So like, I feel you on it for sure.
That's fair. No, you guys are all correct. Yeah. So I'm trying to work on that a little more. So
Cool.
Got a technical question for Richie and TJ. So you guys have both thrown shows in 2020, like new parties, and they've been really well attended. You know, Saturday, like what, 4 or 5 Saturdays in a row, you guys, you know, basically filled up Ducento, which was doing 0 numbers. And I cannot stress that enough. There's nobody. Okay, and there's 10 people in that bar that aren't there to see, you know, for your guys' parties. So can you just, you know, tell, I think it's a major.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's major for new DJs to learn how to throw parties, because there's only a few clubs. There's probably going to be fewer clubs after this is done. And that's going to be how you get, you know, your music, especially if you're playing something that's other than club and top 40 out. So for those people, what tips do you guys have to start a night strong and not have to have this long process to where, you know, it's 10 people, 15 people? You guys started with like 150 people almost.
Yeah. What is it? TJ, is that cool? You want to go first, or?
It's up to you, brother. I'm cool.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Ducento, you know, I'd say back in 2019, they were, you know, I mean, they were kind of going on the down. They just were not getting the customer base that they wanted. And, you know, I mean, you know, Ted and I, we were trying to do our thing there. We were trying to, you know, the crowd was really, it was an open format crowd. So, you know, it was my chance to kind of practice my open format DJing and try to practice as much as I could there. But, you know, we one day we were just like, hey, let's try throwing a party. Let's just see what happens, you know. And we did our little marketing test, Stevie, where we're just like, let's just start getting a little bit crazier on Facebook and Instagram, and we gave it a shot, and let's see what happens. And boom, our first party was, you know, it was pretty good. It wasn't too bad. It was a lot better than what they usually get. And, you know, and then got together with TJ, got together with his team, you know, and his friends, and, you know, got some other friends together, and, you know, just decided like, hey man, let's just go full on forward with this. And I think it, you know, definitely having, you know, the bar and the bar owners backing you up, you know, making sure that, you know, they're on the same board with you, the same plane with you, as far as, you know, before taking off, right? Making sure you've got support, your friends or whoever is going to help you do this, the talent, like having all that. And we had that whole ecosystem. We had everything down. We were like, shoot, we could do this. And boom, you know, we put a schedule together. I think it's important to have a nice organized schedule, a plan, a proposal. You know, you want to present to the bar, let them know, hey, this is what we're thinking about bringing in, and they agreed to it. Again, that's super important. You know, those owners, they got to agree to it. They got to be like, okay, yes, let's do this. You know, and they got to make sure they're staffed correctly for it. You know, and shoot, like literally, like every weekend, exponentially, just kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And next thing we knew, you know, around December, start hitting, January hit, we literally saved the bar from going under. And we just, you know, any party that we started throwing, it just, you know, it was a happening spot. And just when it was just about to, you know, really start ramping up even more, this whole thing happens. And yeah, I mean, I gotta say, you know, like I kind of see it as like a trifecta, right? You know, you gotta have good marketing, people behind the good marketing, you know, having the bar behind you and back you, making sure, like, you know, their staff, their owners, everyone's, you know, they're sort of, you know, they're ready to go. And then the talent, and you got those three things, man. Oh my gosh. Like it's going to be, it's awesome.
Over.
I really liked how you said you have to manage your ecosystem, like find out what are the important things to make a party successful, and then make sure you manage those things. I love that. So thank you, Richie. TJ, can you add on to that? More stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we learned a lot this year, man. It's been a ride. Yeah, just piggybacking off that, like, I think another thing is, like, when you go with the intent that maybe you'll have to do this for free for a second. Prove to the bar, prove to the owners, like, hey, you know, I'll do this show. We'll see turnout. Make sure you do your promo. Like, for real, do promo runs, guys. Like, that helps. And, like, learn from everything. Like Richie was saying, like, you know, you get the promo, you get the talent, and obviously you got to trust in yourself. You got to trust in your friends, your team. That's important. Like, I cannot stress enough. I want to see people, like, ask for help more, to be honest. Like, I started this and I had no fucking idea what I was doing. And I pulled resources from my friends and worked with, like, good people that I knew, and we just helped each other out. And then we got, like, we did crates. We've got Night Driver over there. We've got, we brought in Thump. Shout out those guys. Timmy's House came in over there too. Shout out Govan. Like, you gotta not be afraid to work with people. If you got a lane, build it and work with it and collaborate within it and help each other come up together. That's what I think really helped with what we did over there, was, like, bringing in everybody and making sure that, you know, it wasn't just we're there for our shows. We were out there supporting Thump and all these other guys, like, on their nights, and making sure we showed up even if we weren't playing. Like, just being there for each other, supporting, promoting it. Like, you got to have that. You really got to have that. So, like Richie was saying, like, the ecosystem, really just, like, curate it and, like, help it. And I guess just kind of learn. I think in terms of concepts, I'm big on, like, concepts, albums, and whatever. Like with the crazy stuff we were doing on Night Driver, and, like, even with the Home Alone thing, like, we took one concept and we pulled absolutely everything we could, down from the name to how we were going to do it, to the promo for it, like, how it was going to look, feel, the vibe. Like, you really got to curate that instead of it just being sporadic or just not really going in. Fucking go all in on it. You know what I mean? Like, have fun with it and put your stamp on it. I think that's going to be important for you to get your foot in the door in whatever you're trying to start, whether it's a party or whatever.
Hey, James, that idea of supporting your ecosystems and supporting each other as DJs, it keeps coming up, like, every episode. Do you notice that?
Yeah, dude. It just goes to show that, like, the people that are involved in this industry in Columbus get it. They're starting to see what's working and what doesn't work. And I feel like he said, if we're all in this together, we're all going to grow together as well, within the city and outside of the city, because it only takes one of us to really get going. And then, you know, the people that support that person are going to go with that person. And it makes it more fun too, right? Like, when you're supporting each other, and when, you know, you're just, you're involved with somebody, if they're asking questions, I know you love that, Mike. Like that's something that you love to help people. You make tutorials. Like people love watching your tutorials when, you know, how to DJ, how to scratch, whatever it might be. And we need more of that.
Which actually, listen to the segue though. Listen to the segue. So we got to do, you know, we're talking about togetherness in the DJ community. I want to go into 614 or 614 releases. And one track that's come out recently is Together by none other than our own Stevie D right here. So epic segue, right? You know, I'm talking about Together. No. All right, never mind. So anyway, we got 614 releases this week. DJ Kenobi, who was on the podcast last week, released Jedi Mind Tricks 19 on SoundCloud. And happy birthday to Zach Lowe, who was on the podcast a couple weeks ago. Man, we got a couple podcasts out, James.
Happy
we got a little
birthday,
history.
Zach. Dude, this is episode 6, and the feedback's starting to roll in. I love it. You know, it's crazy because, like, when we did our first one, we were just kind of, like, figuring it out a little bit. And now I feel like we're comfortable. It's fun.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Guys, where can people find you? Promote
It's
yourself.
great, guys.
Let us know what
Thanks
your
for doing
social
this,
media
guys.
handles are. Could you guys hear me? Sorry, I think I was lagging a little bit. Tell people where they can find you. What are your social media handles, and maybe a project you guys have done recently.
Go ahead, Stevie.
Hit me up on Instagram, STEVIE_music. Like I was talking about before, I've got my my link tree in there. So if you go to my bio, hit that, you'll literally hit all my socials. That is a sweet thing to have. Like we've been talking about, I just released Together a couple of weeks ago, and it's got some good traction. I've had some good feedback on it, and I think next month I will be on Lost in Sauce, which is going to be dope. I'm super excited to be on that with James. So, yeah,
Nice.
hit me up.
Definitely listen to that. We can talk about that next week.
Can't wait, man. Mm-hmm.
Richie, where can we find you?
All right, you can check out my Instagram. It's BASSDADDY_DJ. See project. Obviously, we've got Home Alone happening tomorrow. I am really, really excited about that, and nervous at the same time because I don't got shit ready, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to entertain. You know, we got Home Alone tomorrow. You know, we got some talents here. Mike, James, TJ, we'll be playing together tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. Stevie, we're going to have to get you on our next one or something. Be great. Have us all on there.
Heck yeah.
Other projects I've got going on. I'm teaching my little boy how to DJ. He's been DJing a lot of Rufus and some Tin Liquor and getting him to get on that DJ controller already. So yeah, that's my big project right now. I'm teaching him piano and DJing right now.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. This pleases.
Start them young. Yeah.
TJ, where can people find you, buddy?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It should all be under Modern King, MDRN King. Yeah. I just confirmed earlier this morning, going to be doing a project with Obi-Wan, actually. And then I got another project that will be called, I believe we're thinking Not Safe for Work. That's going to be with West DJ and Governor. So
Nice.
we're going to be working on that. Give us some time. We'll have some dope shit for you.
Obi-Wan
That's
and
awesome.
DJ Kenobi got to come out with a mixtape at some point, right?
Yeah,
They have
dude.
to.
I was just
They
thinking
have
that.
to.
That's funny.
James, I think that's it, man. Like everyone's been saying, guys, check out Home Alone tomorrow, Friday, May 8th. We are going all day. I start at noon, and then we have DJs on the hour every hour going up until 1 a.m. and Fear and Lower at the last slot. So who knows how late they will go. They got a house full of DJs over there. Again, benefiting the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. If you can donate, great. If not, then just come check out the tunes. Get hype in the chat. Let these guys know that you like the songs, or just that you're supporting them. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video, especially if you found something helpful or interesting. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode or any of the tutorials that James was talking about. And I think that's it. Yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what questions you want us to ask our guests. Let us know who you want us to have on the show, and where I can get a haircut from someone who's not quarantining. So please tell me in the comments.
Amen.
Thanks for having us, guys. Appreciate it.
Amen.
And that's Home Alone C-Bus
Yeah, thanks, guys.
on Instagram.
Yes, thank you, James.
Home Alone C-Bus. Dude, thank you guys so much for doing this. And you guys were awesome. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the club soon. Shout out to 614, our sponsor.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
AXCESS shirt.
Boom.
You guys stay safe.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
stay
you.
safe. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
Thanks, brother.
Peace.